Being recorded.
Welcome, welcome, everyone. Katie Cavenagh and Ralph Havens here for you today. We are going to talk briefly about one very, very, very powerful tool that you can use to completely change your life in it feels like almost an instant. So, Ralph, so good to see you. Thank you so much for being here today. We are talking about the magic of a decision. And Ralph, I just want to ask you real quick before I dig in. Have you ever noticed when you made a very big decision, what happened afterwards?
The ball started rolling. The ball started rolling like numerous times over and over again. And a lot of times, maybe all the times, it seems like it was a spur of the moment decision. It just kind of like popped in, almost like it wasn't mine. And like one was when it was 2012 December, and we were traveling from San Diego to Portland to um, Seattle, take a major genetics class to Vancouver and visit a friend. And I saw a homeopath in Portland. And um, when I was in Portland, I just was walking around thinking, man, I really want to live up here in a place like this. And it's like it had certain houses and it had certain sidewalks. It would sound funny, but sidewalks are good for me, and trails and forest, but I didn't know how to do it. And and by April, we had shut down my physical therapy clinic in San Diego and sold our cars and got a tent. And we hit the road for the Pacific Northwest and spent months and found Bellingham, Washington. But it was just this instant, like, man, I really want this thing. It's like that kind of stuff seems to be like the pattern of how stuff happens for me. I work so much, and I have all these plans and stuff. And many times it's like something just kind of like click, this would be cool. This is what I want. So yeah, that's how it seems to work for me.
Yeah, there's so much power in a decision. And I kind of feel like a broken record with this, but it is, it's it's really where everything starts is that decision. And, one of my favorite quotes, and I don't know where I've heard this, I've heard it so many times. You are one decision away from a completely different life. And I love that so much because it is so true. And what you said earlier before about once you make a decision, that momentum gets going. And when you make that decision, you are committing to yourself and you're kind of making a commitment to the universe too, that no matter what, I'm going to do this thing. And I'll briefly talk because there's not too much I can say about something that I did earlier this year with my mentor. And part of that ceremony was stepping into becoming that person that you are really working to become, that you are dreaming of becoming. And I remember feeling a massive shift when I made that decision. I'm like, there's no going back. This is what I want for myself. This is who I want to be. This is what I want to show up in my life. This is how I want to show up in my life. And again, I felt that shift of that movement and just the power in that decision. And everything else has been falling in place since then. And it's been really a true amazing ride. And that commitment to staying so secure in that decision, I think is part of what is calling things in. And when we are committed to the essence of our desire, right, we're not super focused on how we're going to get there or controlling things and quote quote making things happen for ourselves, right? We're committed to that decision of holding that version of us in our minds 24/7 and noticing when we are out of alignment with that version of ourselves and then bringing ourselves back into alignment. Every single time that we notice that we are not in alignment, then the universe is going to stop working in our favor, so to say, because we're falling back into our old patterns. So as soon as we notice that we're falling back in those old patterns, we can decide again, nope, this is not who I'm going to be. I'm focused on the essence of my desire of being this other person. And then again, everything starts to shift for you. The universe will always bring you what it is that you are thinking about the most, whether you want it or not. So having that decision and committing to that decision and having the audacity to stick to that decision and continuing to work from that place of that deciding factor, that's what's going to open up all of those possibilities, bring in those resources, literally have those opportunities just landing in your lap. It's been so amazing to watch all of the synchronicities that have been happening, like, saying I need X, Y, and Z, and then all of a sudden it shows up like within a day or two. And it's just it's continually just living in this magic really of deciding that you're gonna have your life be magic, that you're working towards building and constructing whatever it is that you're building that's in alignment with that bigger vision that you have for yourself. So it's really when you're deciding, you're making that decision for yourself, but also there's this other benefit that comes from the decision that serves on a greater purpose. And Ralph, I would love to get your take on that because I know that you've made some decisions about who you are and how you want to show up in your life and the things that you want. So when you made those decisions, what was it like sort of in the back of your mind? Like, how does this help serve the greater good?
um, it seems to be when truth shows up, you, at least for me, I can feel it. I know it. It's like that fleeting thought of you make a decision, then you see something, and then something pops in. It's like, oh, this, I'm gonna do this, and so that seems to be. It's kind of like living lucky. Like you just start to go with what you'll kind of do the work. And for me, I notice then something pops in like, oh, this. And what I feel like doing, because I know we have very short time, we're about to finish up, is you study stuff that you can't teach because it's like sacred and it's been instructed, yeah, do not share this. And I was telling you off screen before about my friend who does the conga drumming with West Africans, and there's spiritual stuff that happens, and they tell her, yeah, you can't tell other people this, stuff that shows up, and there's ancient spiritual stuff that's unshared unless you're like really in that culture. The cool thing is we can access that information. So and so what I invite us all to do right now, if you like, is just think about if there was a decision that you would like to make right now for your life, like who you want to be, what might that be? And then we can do this for you all, kind of like it's a window or a portal, and all the ancient stuff, the stuff that's like sacred, that's hidden, that's really right there. We can walk through that portal, and let's just let go and access whatever that is on 3, 2, 1. And if you want a little tool that you can use, there's something, I have to look it up and see if it's actually true, but the circle with the little dot, that symbol is called a circumpunct, and I believe it's the oldest symbol, and it's a really cool symbol because it's got the infinity, the circle, and it's got the little dot. You can think of it like you and the infinity. That's kind of like a 2-point, and so we can just go straight to that. And just notice what you notice. I invite you to notice what you notice, and notice what how life is, and see what kind of nods you get. Like, what are you supposed to do? What's next? What's going on? And then see what happens and report back. Let Katie and I know, because because we're seeing some big shifts for ourselves, for our clients, for people that use this sort of thing. And even though we can't share some stuff, especially Katie, the stuff that she's learning, won't even say what it is, and we can and I've got some from Qigong. I'm just realizing some, and and but we could access that because I think we are that ultimately. But then how do you access it? So we just did a session for you, and you can say, well, what was it? Well, let us know. Let us know what's different. Walk around, stand, bend, walk. Test how you feel. See if you feel different with how you walk and how you move, and if there's some lucky stuff that happens, and let us know. So I know we're running short on time, so yeah, I'd love to hear your closing thoughts, Katie. And
Yeah, it's really about deciding to remember how powerful we truly are. Like we have access to so much information that we just don't even realize. And again, deciding to be a powerful person, deciding to be that kind of person who helps enlighten and awaken and lead others, the kind of person who, again, who does the learning to help assist the ascension of consciousness on this planet. Like that's what we have access to that we have forgotten again in our human form when we came here. So what we just did is we activated your ability to remember all of that information. Remember those parts of you that you have forgotten. Remember the true power that you hold inside and that you absolutely can access it at any moment, and you don't need permission. You, again, the main idea of accessing this information is to raise your own level of awareness and consciousness. And again, the moment that you decide to do that has a ripple effect all throughout the entire collective. So the more people that decide and choose to be this version of themselves, accessing that higher consciousness, working to clear out those old patterns and those old belief systems and all of those old structures. We are the people who are going to change the world. We are helping the world heal one person at a time. And the more people that we can at least reach out to and say, hey, there's a different way of thinking, the more people that we work with and give this information to and help understand this information, assimilate and really integrate this information, then all of those people can go out and help do the same exact thing. And this is literally how we change the world. This is how we bring that peace, we bring that love, we bring that ascended consciousness down and anchor it into the planet. So this one decision can be the biggest decision of your entire life. And this is the kind of decision that can change the world. So just remember how powerful you truly are and that each and every single one of us can make a difference.
awesome, and let us know what you noticed that's different, because this was an energetic transmission or healing or whatever you want to call that. So let us know what's different in your life, in your world, and I'll put links wherever you find this on Spotify and YouTube and Rumble and everywhere else we share this on Facebook, and to connect up with Katie Cavenagh and me, Ralph Havens, and and you can do this. You can get more information and join us in the various ways we do this. All right, Katie, thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us. Let us know in the comments what you have found most valuable, and we will see you next time.